Um, I swear I don't even know where to begin. Y'all see, I ain't even bring the drums out today. I'm like, I, you know how they say you got to laugh to keep from crying. I'm speechless and I have so much to say at the same time. I'm speechless and I have so much to say at the same time. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1:30 p.m. till around 3:30-ish. And the reason that we say 3:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. And none of that shit matters. I would like to say I didn't see this coming, but I can't say that. I would like to say that it wasn't true, but I can't say that. I would like to say that I'm surprised, but I can't say that. I would like to say that I'm disappointed, but I can't say that. What can I say? Well, what I can say is this. Okay, so the United States is, for all intents and purposes, at war with Iran. First of all, I didn't want to do this. Is not what I had scheduled to talk about today. But it's a funny thing when your country, enters war. You have family in the military that might have to, get involved and potentially put their lives at risk more than they've already been at risk. I mean, because essentially you put your life at risk when you join the military. You know what that's about. But when there's a war, a new war, when you have a president whose supporters claim that they voted for him because there would be no new wars, no senseless wars, no wars in the Middle East. That's what he said. That's what he said. Now, it's not that I put any stock into the things that he says because it's all ridiculous. I just get a little tired of the excuses that Trump supporters come up with time and time and time again. And I'm wondering, what excuses are we going to come up with now? Because there will be excuses. There will be deflections. There will be pivoting. You're going to have a whole bunch of people who act like this is a good thing and they knew that this would happen. Some of them are going to act like they wanted it to happen. What are we doing? Spartacus, what's good? Haven't seen you around here in a while, man. It's good to see you. What up? T Carry right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, sit back, relax, do your thing, Max and chill. K-Cell, what's good? Good to see y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. My man, Bwana Haguski, what's good? So, Jihad, what up? So, we're at war. When we did this show yesterday, we were not at war. We were on our way. I think anybody who pays attention to politics could pretty much see that we were well on our way to getting into this war. You can always tell when a president wants to enter war. You can always tell when a president wants to enter war. And when you follow somebody like Trump and act like you don't see the things that he does or the way that he moves, I knew when he said that he was going to go and think about this for a couple of weeks, I knew he was about to do something. Like, that ain't hard to tell. You ain't got 2 weeks to think about this. I knew that he was about to, do something. Or you know what? Let me not say I knew. I suspected. I had a strong suspicion that he's about to do something now. Because that's kind of like it is his MO with the element of surprise. Pretty much. Kim's Wims, what's good? How you feeling? You know, you know, I'm just really sick of the fucking excuses. I'm just really, really sick of the fucking excuses that people are putting up for this man's pivoting, for his lying, for his deception, for all of this craziness, all of this chaos. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but it seems to me every week is a brand new year. Do y'all realize it was only 2 weeks ago that he was at war with Elon Musk and all of this stuff was coming through or whatever? That seems like, does that not seem like it was 2024 or is it just me? Because you're getting so much. You are like Steve Bannon told him, flood the zone. Give them so much false information. So much false information that all information is false. So at the same time, all information is true. It all depends on whether you like the person giving you the information or not. That's where we are with it right now. And anybody can deny that all they want. What Donald Trump is making it hard for you to do is really, really make excuses for him and say that you knew what he was going to do or for you to speak on his behalf. He has proven that no one can speak on his behalf. Now he claims that Iran has nuclear weapons. Tulsi Gabbard, his people told you that no, there's no way that they can have a nuclear weapon. She said it under oath. So she like, nah, he like, nah, I ain't. They presented, did you see the interview where they presented that evidence to him? Because he was like, where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that information from that they don't have a nuclear weapon? Where'd you get that from? The media? He said, no, you're Tulsi Gabbard, your girl, your secretary. He was like, nah, don't believe her. Well, what you hire her for? You talking about some don't believe? Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, which they're pushing off like he didn't even know nothing about this. Like, well, yeah, they, after the little, just because I went on this app and, it was, I invited a reporter into a top secret meeting and talking about military strikes and war plans. Just because I did that on Signal in a Signal chat, now they don't want to tell me nothing no more. What you got a Secretary of Defense for? How does the Secretary of Defense not know that you about to send bombs? What we doing? What we doing? Are they just saying that? Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Listen, we're gonna get into this today. For any new listeners, new subscribers, whatever, yo, that phone number is up there for a reason. You can call into this show and add in 2 cents, and you can get it popping. You can get it popping. 267-874-1949. This is not the show that I had scheduled for today. This is not the show that I had scheduled for today. So, okay. Yeah. This is not the schedule I had. This is not the show that I had scheduled for today. I was going to talk about something totally different. But this motherfucker going to drop bombs. So, And then, the his address to the nation. Yeah, we dropped the bombs, and everybody, like the planes are on their way back home. Everything was a success. It's over. It's done with. Everything cool. We good. Like it's over. Like you talking about Iran. Regardless of what you think about Iran, is a very proud country, very proud people, and a very proud leader. Ayatollah Khomeini been the head of Iran for how long? Look that shit up. Because I don't know, is it me? But I remember it seemed like since I was 8 years old, I've been hearing his name. It couldn't have been that long though, right? How long has Ayatollah Khomeini been the leader of Iran? Just 10 years? Wait. Oh, it's not. Wait a minute. Who the fuck is the I? Wait. No. Ayatollah served the supreme leader for Iran for 10 years from 79 to 89. Okay, who's the leader? Who am I thinking about? Wait a minute. Who is the leader of Iran now? It's Ali coming.
According to Wikipedia,
oh,
Ali Hosseini Khamenei, born the 19th of April, 1939, is an Iranian cleric and politician who has served as the second supreme leader of Iran since 1989.
The name sounded similar. I'm like, that motherfucker he could have been in power for 50 years. I can't do it. Oh, thank y'all in the chat for correcting me. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm like, Ayatollah. Oh, it was Ali Khamenei, not Khomeini. Okay, I got it. So yeah, everybody know Iran ain't no joke. Even if you just think about the threat that they pose, we know they fight. You know, they like to fight in Irish. You know how like Irish cats, known for fighting, whether they can fight or not. Like they will fight. They will fight, and they are tough as nails. They may not have form. They may not have skills. They may not be trained, but they will put 5 fingers on your jaw and stomp you out. And they can take a punch. Carla, what's good? How you feeling? Kim's Whims is all up in the house. Good to see y'all. Let me see. Antonio Ambrose. Oh, he says nothing but a clown show through and through. I don't know if you're talking about this show or if you talk about Trump. I don't know. Okay. This war is nothing but a distraction from his failures since he's been president. Just add this one to the list. Yeah, but this is a big one, Antonio, this is a big one, Antonio. This is war. I mean, Trump supporters running around here talking about, he's a peace president. No new wars ever got started under Trump. I'm like, what are you talking about? Then when you make them go Google that shit, like, conflicts or wars under Trump, then you see that the military action is military action. We have a caller on the line. Caller on the line.
You have a call from
caller with the last numbers 5639. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Thank you for calling in this afternoon. What's on your mind?
Hey, everybody. Hey. So, I was not going to wait on this one because I am in panic mode. That's the honest truth. My level of anxiety is off the charts. I did not sleep at all the night this thing took place. Yesterday, I held it together. But yeah, so we can't even go without saying this is not going to go well for anyone. It never does in war. No one wins. But the thing about it is he has put us in a position, or put this country in a position that is dangerous, because at the end of the day, when we go against, and this is probably going to sway a little bit, the beginning of this war has nothing to do with anybody who is American at the end of the day. That's a reality. This is a war of consent that has been going on since the beginning of time, unfortunately. It is more biblical than we realize. And I don't mean biblical in the sense of the Bible and American taught Christianity. I mean something that's far beyond any truth and reality that this country recognizes or respects. In addition, these are people who are not. You have a call from much different than anything we've ever been taught. They have been raised to believe that if they put their lives on the line, that they will have all the riches that this man could never provide. They have no problem with becoming martyrs, whereas we say we believe in, but the reality is if somebody comes in, we're not willing to put our lives on the line and say, I'm going to defend what these people do. And their fight is a different fight. Theirs is a fight for humanity that we can't begin to understand because we've been privileged. And that son of a bitch right there is the ultimate example of privilege. So he has no understanding. None of his people are involved in this. We all have loved ones in it. And yes, I am emotional about it because I have cousins and relatives who are already in it. But I also have two cousins who are sitting right now waiting by the phone with a sad phone call that they're going to be deployed. These are the same cousins who he's against because they're LGBTQ, because they're black, and because they're fucking women. These are the same people, he said, fuck them, they can't be a part of this, whose lives are on the line to go defend a fucking country that doesn't even respect them. These are the same people, this man who's tossed into something who has no logical sense or thinking or capability of thinking on the level of a third grader has decided to put this country into. Yes, I'm emotional today. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm scared. I'm hurt. I'm all of the emotions that do not equate to joy and happiness or peace right now. So please forgive me. All the words are going to come out today. All the emotions are going to come out today. I have not stopped crying. I have not stopped being upset. I have not stopped anything. I still fucking don't understand the people who still support this son of a bitch, because even right now as we breathe, there are still all these people on all of the networks who support what he has done.
Yeah, well,
who still say it's okay, who still make sense out of nonsense.
What I think is interesting about the people who support him is if you would have asked them about the same thing that he just did last week or a few days ago, they would have said he wasn't going to do it. Now it's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So it's all. I mean, the ridiculousness of it is like this. Like in layman's terms, it would be like if I made a date with you, I told you like, listen. You know what? We're going to go to the Outback Steakhouse. We're going to go to the Outback Steakhouse. You know what I mean? We're going to have a few drinks. We're going to, eat. I'm going to have some prime rib. You're going to eat a porterhouse, whatever you want to do. We're going to go to Outback Steakhouse. And, that's what's going to happen. But instead of taking you to the Outback Steakhouse, we went to Burger King. And you said, you know what? Yeah. I always, put on my good casual clothes to go to Burger King. And you know what? Burger King do have some good burgers. And you know what? They have pretty good shakes. And right now, they fries are actually better than McDonald's fries. So, what this is what's up. I thought, when you was telling me about the whole Outback Steakhouse thing, I was thinking like, I hope he's really going to take me to Burger King. Because that's what I want. This is literally what's going on. This is.
I got one better for you than that. It's like you say you're gonna take me to Outback in 2 weeks, and then you decide I'm gonna on Friday you say I'm gonna take you to Outback in 2 weeks, but then Saturday at 3:00 in the morning, you take a whore instead of me, and you take her to Burger King, and then you go home and fuck her, and then decide you're gonna marry her. That's what that's like. That's what that's like.
Okay.
And Ellie Sitton, I want to know what Ellie Sitton is saying, not because I'm angry, but because I want to know what that means. Every time I see that language, See, we're ignorant. We don't know what they're saying. We don't know what that means. And we can only go by what somebody else is saying versus what we know. I want to know what is being said, not because I'm angry, not because I'm unwelcoming, because I really want to know what Ellie Sitton is putting in the chat. I want to know what all of that means. I want to know what that says, because I want to know what those people are saying for real. I don't want you to interpret it for me. I want to know what they're saying that's facts that I can say, because I believe that, and I don't trust her, I don't like her, but I believe Tulsi Gabbard was telling the truth when she said, hey, we have no proof of anything. And as she said it and blaming the Democrats, this motherfucker over here is saying she's a liar. I hired her, but she's a liar.
Okay, well,
shut up.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Whether she's lying or not, she said it. She said it under oath. So that's truth enough for me because that spells accountability. So if your people are saying things under oath, meanwhile you're saying things just in passing in an impromptu press conference or whatever, which one should which one should stand stronger with the American public or anybody else? When you say something under oath, you put your legal status, you put your freedom, you put your accountability on the line. Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump has proven that he can say anything in passing or say anything in front of a camera or whatever. That you can be held accountable for that, but legally, not really, or not as much. So, all right. So, bottom line is the way you flipped what I was saying. The thing is, I knew, or should I say, I deeply suspected that he was going to do something before 2 weeks. I knew that was all bullshit, but I can't say that I knew that he was going to take a whore to Burger King and fuck her and marry. I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I only gave the example that I'm giving because of what I actually like, what I can reasonably expect because of experience, because it passes the eye test. It passes the eye test. You could tell that he wanted to get into this conflict. He wanted to do something with Israel because a couple of months ago it was okay. We're gonna make Gaza into like the French Riviera. We're gonna build these nice hotels and resorts and all of this shit. They've been wanting to do something with Israel. The United States always wants to do some kind of dance with Israel. Like, Israel, can you do the Harlem Shake? Yeah, I could do it. Can you Dougie? Yeah, I could do it. Yo, can you wobble? Can you bop? Yes. I want to bop with Israel. I mean, the United States will bend over backwards to get in bed with Israel. Israel must have some good pussy because the United States will not hesitate to get in bed with him again. Like, no matter what. Like, yo, that's my bitch. I'm a defender. It's like Popeye and olive oil, but fuck all of that. Getting back to the United States and our position on it, what do we think is going? What do we think is going to happen? Because I put a post up on social media today. I said the most concerning thing about this whole thing, the war notwithstanding, is that no matter what happens, Donald Trump will declare victory. No matter what. No matter if he loses or if he ties or if he wins, he will claim that he won. And the problem, the biggest problem is they, like his supporters, accept that he won. So, I mean, if you take it all the way back to when he won the presidential election in 2016. At his inauguration in 2017, in January 2017, his inauguration wasn't as well attended as other presidents had been, especially Obama. What did he say? Yes, it was. there were almost millions of people out there and all of that. He made his press secretary, Sean, whatever, I can't remember his last name, but he made him go out there and lie to people like they didn't see, like they didn't have video coverage, like they weren't people really out there who could tell, who could say, nah, it was a lot of empty space out there. All right, so he claimed victory there. He went on to claim, every time, every legislation he did. Oh, I did more for the African American community than any other president since Lincoln. Claiming victory there. People believe that shit. Black and white people believe that dumb shit. When you could easily just pick up your phone and punch that shit in Google and find out the truth. But they don't want the real truth. They want his truth. So his truth claims victory. All right, you get to the COVID-19 thing. What did he do? Instead of addressing the seriousness of the situation, he said only a handful of people had it, were infected with the virus, and that it was going to. And then when the numbers started to ramp up, he told you that no, the cure, it's just going to go away magically. These are quotes. It's going to just magically go.
Get warned.
Yeah,
when he get warned, it's just going to go away. But
he used the word. He used words like magically. It's just going to magically disappear. And he told you that you didn't need to really, you didn't need to worry, panic, or even protect yourself. You didn't need to wear masks and all that shit. Meanwhile, it was when people started dying that you knew, family members, your elderly family members, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandparents, and even younger people that ain't had no business dying from the shit. When they started dying, he's still telling you, nah, it's not like that. Well, you going against your own fucking knowledge. All right, so enough people died. Whether they claimed that it wasn't the numbers that were reported, who the fuck cares? When it's people that you know, how many numbers do you need? When you want your mom back, your dad back, your grandparents back, your favorite aunt, uncle, your old heads back, when you know that they should still be here instead of cremated or in the ground, what do you care whether it was 600,000 or 1 million? What do you care? You lost directly, but he claimed that it was a victory. Then enough people experienced that to whereas they refused to re-elect him in 2020, in 2020, he lost the election fair and square. What did he say? I won. He said that he won before the votes were he said that he won before the votes were counted, and then after the votes were counted, he said that the election was stolen and he really won it. Then these dumb motherfuckers re-elect him. Hold on. I wasn't even going to talk about the January 6th, and I'm not going to, but I just want to put it as a footnote. That caused January 6th because he won, right? Okay. So he had to leave Washington, leave the White House and all of that shit. These dumb motherfuckers vote him back the fuck in. And he told you he was going to do all of this shit. Oh, by the way, that whole stolen election thing, now he is forcing that to be taught in schools. Like that he actually won the 2020 election, that it was stolen. That is a real part of American history now that he is putting in the schools. Check that. You don't believe me? You don't get accurate information on Trump? Well, just go ahead and Google that right now. Just look up the state of Oklahoma. I think it will amuse you. All right. So that's my biggest concern. We will never know what the true serious nature of the status of this war is, because he will always dumb it down and pretend like it's going better than it is. So, now this isn't a new tactic, because, it's been has been a military tactic used to not demoralize the soldiers in battle, because if they feel like they're losing too much, it could demoralize them into not fighting hard. So they have dumbed down, certain destructive defeats during war or whatever, and made it seem like the war effort was going better. I understand that for the soldiers' edification, but for us sitting at home, we need to know if there's a chance that we may finally see missile strikes on American soil. We need to know if our sons, our nieces, our nephews, our daughters, our aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, classmates, community members, we need to know if they're going to have to get on a plane and go overseas and put their lives in danger in a conflict that they really had no business getting involved in. We need to know that. So that's my little rant. I'm sorry I had to go into all of that. But I think that we really need to understand that perspective. You can't get the truth from this man, but it's bigger than that, because if you just say that he lies, then motherfuckers want to tell you how he exposed the truth. Well, let's just say that he claims victory where victory was not won, because that's a much harder disputable statement than just lying. Lying is a subjective, blanket statement. Well, let's get specific. All right. My man Troy, man, I'm sorry.
Hey, son, let me stop you real quick. Today is not the day. Fuck these trolls. Get them out of there. We don't have room in the chat for their bullshit today. If they trolling, get them out. Do not give them a chance to ruin the conversation.
Wait. Hold on. See, here's the thing: unless they are being like disrespectful to other people, I've always had a platform where you can say whatever you want to say. So as long as
I'm talking about the ones who want to keep just blocking the feed.
If you are disrupting the feed, if you're disrupting the feed, definitely get them up out of it. Yeah. If they if they are disrupting the feed, yeah. Like if they spamming or whatever. I didn't see anybody spamming. I mean, I don't care if you don't agree with me. I'm not in this thing for agreement. You know what I mean? The truth is going to come out. I'm just saying it in advance. That's all. I'm saying it in advance because I see some people and it seems like they get started, but just in case, like, let's not even give them time. So I'm just saying in advance, if I see it, we're going to call it out. We don't have room for people to come and spam today. That's not what this is today. Well, look, this we have this phone number for a reason. So I mean, if you don't, if anybody wants to get on the microphone, you can call. You can call. We even have a third line. You know what I mean? So listen, the number is 267-874-1949. Put your money where your mouth is, or should I say, put your mouth where your statements are. You know what I mean? Because fuck all of that shit. I don't have no reason. I don't have a personal interest in any of this shit. You know what I mean? Talking about something, I'm doing this for views. Motherfucker, this don't pay my bills. I get paid anyway. Tomorrow, I got to go to work. That's what pays my bills. So if this is your first time here, well, welcome. But guess what? You ain't giving no money. So where the fuck you think I'm going to get it? What you think? YouTube says, you know what? He got 43 people in chat. Then, well, guess what? We're going to cut him a fatty. Mother, you don't fucking matter. You ain't spending no money here. You don't see no advertisement for no merch and no shit over there. Eat a dick. Thank you. Respectfully eat a dick, but eat a whole one. And I'm talking about a good 10-incher. Yeah. I would say the 12, but I know you can't get a foot long down there. But your little soft bitch ass. Listen, I can't be mad at people because they don't know. Ignorance is a staple in American society. I get it. I get that you don't get it. But what I'm saying is, if you think you get it more than me, I give you a platform to express that. Don't be a pussy. That's all I ask. Shit, even the women that come on this show ain't pussy. So why you?
Nope.
Why you? You know what I mean? They ain't scared. You know what I mean? I don't think there's nobody watching this show with high heels on right now. They got their hair tied up. They on flats and shit. You know what I mean? Got they shirts tied to the back. They ready to throw down. Here you are with a pair of slides on and shit. You know what I mean? With ankles. I mean with knee socks, looking stupid. She gonna get your ass whooped. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull your shirt over your head and throw you into a fucking trash can, bitch. All right, anyway. All right. No, and listen. What I just said was said out of passion. This is the internet. Nobody's going to get hurt. But I will verbally. Troy, what's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Tim? I'm sorry. I understand you feeling the way you feel, and I know you're in deep prayer, and I'll keep whoever is in your family in deep prayer with this situation. It's just what we've been talking about. This is not something that we just started talking about. See, this is when these new people pop in and these trolls, you know what they just doing. The majority of them are Maga, and they just trolling to disrupt the tremendous conversation because they know they're not holding their father accountable. You know, this is not just. This takes me back to George W. Bush. But with George W. Bush, he had people in office that could at least give him information about situations, and he made the wrong decision. You understand what I'm saying? He made the wrong decision by assuming Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and when they didn't, nobody held George W. Bush accountable. I always say George W. Bush should have been put up on war crimes, just like Milosevic from Yugoslavia, because at the end of the day, he sent our young men and women over there to fight a war because of weapons of mass destruction. And it wasn't a weapons of mass destruction. So all them beautiful spirits are gone. And now we got another person. And before I came on, I was texting in the chat, and I heard you say every week is a different story. Every week is not it's a different year, like you said. I'm thinking we're in 2028 right now. Because it can't be in the first 100 and something days that is so much bullshit and many times. And every time he does something, it's always to change the narrative. There's no way in the world this is not to change the narrative because of all the shit he's doing here with the immigrants and everything that's being brought forth for that. You know, we keep doing this for Israel, but is Israel real? Is it real? Because every time America comes to the defense of Israel, we're sending our beautiful spirits and our souls and our children and family, and this is what we have to deal with. We're in a war that has nothing to do with it. They got all this, everything that they need, that Israel needs, they got from us. They got all the bombs. They got all the planes. They could have did that shit they don't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you follow protocol, follow Congress, follow the Senate, these weak motherfucking senators in Congress, that's the Democrats and the Republicans. These motherfuckers don't want to say nothing. And then the judges, they don't want to say nothing. Everybody is on their fucking hands, and they're not. And I'm almost on the point to where Kim said, but I'm on the point to where you was first at. Back when he got elected, and the shit started hitting the fan, and you was like, somebody got to speak up. Somebody got to do something. You know, this whole situation, I said this to you a couple weeks ago. If a war, they should put in legislation that if a war comes, if a president brings our country into a war, then they should be made to put their children, the adult children, in that war. They should be made to fight. Because if they do that shit, they would think before they do it. They're protected. Their children are protected. Send Barron, tall dumbass over there. Send Eric. Send Donald Jr.
Say that again.
Send Barron, dumbass. Send Eric. Send Donald Jr. Send the one that looked like the bride of Chucky. Send Ivanka. Send all these motherfuckers over there.
Yeah, send the one you've been touching. Send the one he's been touching and Ivanka. Send her and her husband.
Send all of these motherfuckers over there and let them fight in the war. Shit, in Britain, Both Prince Charles' sons with the war, and they didn't have to. They felt obligated to. They felt obligated to.
Well,
and even the thing is, hold on. However they treated them, right?
Hold on.
At the end of the day, they went.
Why? But why should they go?
Why should they go? Because they understand, they love their country. They feel like they don't feel like it's about the prestige of being a prince. It's about or hopefully in the future becoming a king. It's about the love of country. It's about the people. When you go and bomb a country, right, or when you do this type of shit, see, America, we haven't experienced this since Pearl Harbor. But in the inner cities of our states, we haven't experienced bombs. We haven't experienced no type of stuff like that. New York, only time we experience that shit is when we see that shit. We don't see that. We have not experienced all the shit that they got to endure over there. And I'm not saying that we're wrong for getting involved, but following the protocol. Follow the protocol. And listen to the people. When you sit up here and you don't know, you're not knowledgeable of war. This motherfucker came from playing golf and said, let's just do this. You got a motherfucker from off of Weekend Fox News as the defense secretary.
All right, hold on a second.
You got ass kisses and bootlickers.
Hold on a second, because I mean, I really want to charge the people, the guilty parties, on what they do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think it's necessary that we put certain things into their proper context, because, you know, at the end of the day, we all have the potential to be hurt by going into war. War is not nothing to play around with. And the days of thinking that you could just march into a country and drop a few bombs, shoot a few missiles, and grab a 50 caliber machine gun and mow everybody down. Those days are gone. You know, that kind of worked in Desert Storm, but even in Desert Storm we had casualties. When you take it to Iraq and Afghanistan, and we lost a lot of people with that long-standing war. And you have to understand that other countries have. It's just like when somebody sees you fight a lot, they're watching how you fight, and so they're learning about the way that you fight. So that's the problem with a long-standing war. And that's probably one of the reasons why the United States have not been able to smack people around easily since Vietnam, because Vietnam went on for a long time, and people were able to see how we get down. So it's like, okay, so they do this, they like to do this, they have a tendency to do this. When you move this way, people get intel on you. And so they build strategies to be able to beat you. So I don't give a fuck about any of the Trump family going off the war, because at the end of the day, as much as I may hate the war, I don't want to lose it. So I don't want to send no dummies, no crash dummies in there just to get killed. You know, and I don't accept that with the princes that went to war. I don't accept that they believed in going to war. I mean, I ain't seen any one of them drop prince from their title, from their status. It's true. I mean, anybody who understands the royal family, who follows that history, knows shit. And you want to talk about war? You want to talk about treachery? You want to talk about lying? You want to talk about destruction? You want to talk about racism? You want to talk about what the fuck you want to talk about when you talk about the royal family from England? England? You mean the reason that we here now? Oh no, I'm not fucking with that, and I don't give a fuck about none of that. Well, we have a fox in our own hen house right now, and that's Donald Trump. We got a fox in the hen house, and we got a bunch of people cheering for the fox. That's what we had. I'm trying to get to that, because all that other shit is not going to get me nowhere. We got a fox in our hen house, And we got farmers rooting for the fox. What about that? Now, some of the farmers who've been rooting for the fox are dropping off. We need a lot more. But at the same time, the fox done started a war. He knows damn well ain't nobody gonna make a move on him during wartime. Wartime presidents always get reelected. And he already been talking that Trump 28 shit, right? Y'all gotta pay attention.
He's starting up the White House like it's his permanent residence.
Like, listen,
because of that. No other president has come in and done that.
Either he
decorated but not teared up.
He seems to believe that he gonna live forever and that he gonna be president forever. Well, he knows, he knows, and we knows that he don't have a chance to live forever. But he's putting the pieces in place to be able to stay president for as long as he shall live. And that's what we need to concentrate on. All that other shit, fuck all of that. We have to seriously understand how one thing leads to another thing. Historically, a wartime president has never been taken out of office. Whether it's 25th Amendment or normally it's just the advisement of the people, like, this is not a good time to change leadership while we're in this wartime situation, especially if he's the one that started the war. So, this has been a mainstay that we haven't had to challenge or capitalize on before. Now the stakes are different. Shit, George W. Bush.
Well, one of the differences in that is, don't forget the part about, at least with other presidents, including Bush, he did sit down and have a conversation with Congress before he made a move. This nigga didn't even have a conversation with Congress. He just did what the fuck he wanted to do. And that's the difference right there. Now we have a different kind of problem. It's not just a threat or the fact that he put this country in the midst of a problem. It is just the fact that he's moving on his own terms. He's been doing that since he's been in office. And he's making it even more volatile for everyone else. He is not just a threat to this country. He is a global threat. That is the issue. So that makes this whole situation different. I know they're saying, it's not a good time and in a war president. Fuck all of that. He's got to go.
Tomorrow is going to come.
Can I just elaborate on something? What I was saying about putting in legislation that a president should be made to send his children over there is because you have to give them a conscience of thinking. When you just go outright bypass Congress, Senate, the United Nations, because what happens is you go through Congress, you go through Senate, you send your Defense Department, the Defense Secretary, and all those Army men over there to talk to United Nations to make a case for war. That's what you do. That's how you follow the protocol. And when you do all that, then you can do that. But see, when you make an unconscious decision to just send everybody else to war because you have nothing else to do with it, but just tell people, I want to go to war, then that's different. But when you got to send your children over there, then you're going to think twice. You are.
Yeah,
but
Troy,
my daughters and I'm over to fight a war.
Troy,
I'm going to think twice.
Troy, the man was a draft dodger his goddamn self. He understands.
I'm not talking about him being a draft dodger. What I'm saying to you, this is just my opinion.
I understand what you're saying, but
what I'm saying to you is that when you do, if he's a draft dodger, but I'm saying when you put something in legislation that you got to send your own children to fight, they can't dodge the draft. They got to go.
You know what the difference is going to be in that, Troy, is the only difference in that will be at least every other president had a love for their family. He don't love his kids. He don't love his family. He don't love anybody else. He only cares about himself.
Find that out. Find that out. I do understand.
Before Bill Clinton, all American presidents had served in the military. All of them. Every last one. So Bill Clinton was the one who started the I never been in the military before. Even George W. Bush was in the military before. But Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Trump are the only the only American presidents that have not served in the military. They're the only ones. So it is what it is. We can't change what was to fit the narrative of what we wanted to be. But I'm saying there's generals, officers don't fight in wars. They don't. That's not how it goes. Only grunts who are infantrymen fight in the war. That's it. So I mean, I don't want to get into a conversation that really is counterproductive. It's not making no sense. We got to concentrate on what's really real. You know what I mean? Like generals don't fight in wars. Colonels, captains, and lieutenants go there, but they don't fight. They ain't on the front lines. It don't work that way. It's set up a certain kind of way. And when we don't understand how it's set up, then we start wishing on a star instead of dealing with what it is. So
the people on the front line are the innocent lives who have no business in this bullshit in the first place. The people on the front line are some who decided to go to the military in hopes of having a future, in hopes of having money to pay for education, in hopes of learning something more, or getting a trade, or getting some kind of academia under their belt that sets them out for a future of a normal American promised life. That's who's on the front line. Those who are trying to run from whatever thing that deemed them unfit for this society. Those are the people on the front line. The people on the front lines right now, the boys and girls who are men and women who are still boys and girls because they're just 18, 19, and 20, and they're not prepared for this bullshit this man has put them into. Those are the people on the front lines. These are the people on the front lines who are incapable of just the simplest stuff because they're still youthful and fresh out of high school. Those are the people on the front lines. The people on the front lines are the people who this man said are important enough, or valuable enough, or worthy enough to do anything else in this society but kiss ass. The people who he said don't count because they decide to wear a dress and they're a man, or they want to wear pants because they're a woman, because they're fucking black, because they're Spanish, because they're Latino, because they're a fucking woman and got a pussy. Those are the people who he said have no value. Those are the people who are on the front line right now, whose lives are serving and protecting the rest of us. Those are the people.
Those are the same people who have always been on the front lines. And they're the same people. But you know who?
I'm saying they're the same people who have always been there.
But the thing is, not everybody who enters the military is interested in the promise of the American dream. It doesn't work that way for everybody. We can't limit. It doesn't work that way for anybody. Hey, listen. I know a lot of cats that went into the military because they really believe in this American freedom, you know what I mean? America, the beautiful shit, and they really just wanted to kick some foreign ass. I've heard them talk, and there's been a lot of them. Yeah. And anybody who has been in the service knows that they're chock full of them. They're those who don't really mind the conflict. Sure, we have the internet now, where we have access to a whole lot of information that we didn't have before. And some people care about it. But guess what? A whole lot of other people don't give a fuck. They consider this to be their country. And no matter what happens, whoever's the commander in chief, they believe that that whatever conflict that they are going to fight for, then is worth it. So they buy into the terrorism thing. They buy into the communism thing. They buy into whatever is being sold by the leaders. They buy into it, but they happy that way. They were not just born. They were like that. Their fathers were like that. Their grandparents were like that. And it goes on and on and on and on. We are not all fighting for the same things. But I put this show up today because I'm wondering, how do you justify your defense of your leader right now? How do you justify your defense of Donald Trump when he keeps flip flopping and being wishy washy and being inconsistent and being unpredictable? How do you do it? Because at the end of the day, all right, we got a war. We got a fresh new war, a fresh new problem just got here, right? But then we still have a problem buying the food that we need when we go in the market. Gas is going to go up because now there's another conflict in the Middle East. So Donald Trump still stands right in front of the camera and says gas is down to a $1.85 a gallon. He's been touting that shit for about a month now, and nobody who interviews him when he says that shit says where, Mr. President, where is gas $1.85? Where? Are you talking about wholesale? Can we get it at Sam's Club, BJ's, or Costco or some shit? Where? Because it doesn't exist for anybody who's listening. Talking about food is down. Inflation is down. But when you go to the market, you can't get that big juicy steak because that shit is $10.99 a pound. So you might get one or two. But you ain't feeding a family of six unless you really holding it like that or you willing to spend it like that. That's what we have a lot on our plate, no pun intended. But we do. So I'm just trying to figure out, besides all of the complaints that I might have, how are we going to flip the script on the people who will allow this shit to keep happening? Because they are enabling him. We're not enabling him. We're complaining. You got people out here marching and protesting and all of that shit. But then you got the other people that are saying, what y'all protesting for? This is dumb shit. Y'all crazy. Y'all mad because y'all lost. Trump is doing a great job. Unemployment is down. Racism is down. Everything is all right. I just got a new pair of sneakers. The poor just got new coats. And what are you talking? Well, how do we, in order to, we can't just cut the head off because you're going to martyr this man. You're going to martyr this man by removing him or whatever. We have to remove the machine that put him in. So how do we flip him? Because it's excuse after excuse for this man that I'm seeing. How do we flip him? What are they saying now? If 1 month, 2 months, 3 months ago, last year, nobody wanted smoke with Iran. Last week, nobody wanted smoke with Iran. Now all of a sudden he dropped the bombs. Yeah, that's the thing to do. What the fuck are you talking about? That's like saying, you know what, man? You know, I hate the song Numb. I can't stand that song Numb by Linkin Park. That song is ass. I can't stand that song Numb by Linkin Park. And do you hear din, 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 din? Like, yo, this shit banging. Din, 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 din. Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? That's literally what's going on. That's literally what's happening. So how do we flip them? How do we flip? You know, we need some solutions. We may not be able to physically do anything, but we need we got to have some kind of plan. Because yelling and screaming about it and complaining about it is not really moving the needle. Sure, we get it off our chest. But we're not. We ain't getting enough. I
mean, he's got his supporters in the chat. You ask a question, I'm telling them to call in. They have so much to say in the chat. Well, here's your chance to give us a different view.
Hold on.
Hold on. Put your perspective on the line.
We have a caller on the line. Let's see what this number don't look good. Hold on. Let me see.
You have a call from.
Hi, this is Dave from the cable. Ooh, sorry, it's not a good time.
I said it didn't look good. You know what I mean? All right. Hold on. My bad. You there?
Uh-huh.
All right. Yeah, the call didn't look good. You know what I mean? When I saw the area code, I was like, the bullshit is coming in. It's not a good day for y'all, son. Okay, Mark Myers in the chat says, I just paid $2.30 a gallon in Colorado. Shit, that's hella good. Because in Philadelphia, that shit is well over $3, my dude. You ain't getting no gas for less than $2.99 a gallon. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
You have a call from.
So yeah. So I don't know nothing about no $2.30 a gas. You ain't gonna get you're not gonna get $2.30 a gallon in my tri-state area. No Pennsylvania, no Jersey, no Delaware, not New York, certainly not anywhere going all the way up from Connecticut to Maine or from Pennsylvania to Florida. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Same for Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky.
How much is gas in where you at, Kim?
I think it was $3.25 yesterday.
$3.25. Well, I'll be goddamn. That's what I'm used to. So when you give out the average, listen, I just find me one place where it's $1.85. Shit, I'm ready to drive all the way to Colorado, where I would have to pay, where I have to fill up 4 times just to. We'll have to fill up 4 times just to get.
It was less than $2 because I'm trying to figure out where they got those 1989 prices from.
Motherfuckers
there's
lying.
no place
Hold on
on the map that I see gas prices.
In the area where we live at with the Brady Bunch. The hours has been made. Go where you gonna find that for $1 and some change.
Nowhere.
So yeah, I just want to know where you can find gas for $1.85. Let me see because we
just did $5 in Seattle.
Yeah, on the West Coast, gas is on some California is a nice place to live, but it's a horrible place to drive. All right, let me see. Let me. Where is the lowest price of gas recorded in the United States right now? Well, goddamn. It says right now, according to Google, the lowest recorded gas prices in the U.S. are currently in Mississippi, with an average of around $2.66 per gallon. Other states with low prices include Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee, with averages ranging from $2.69 to $2.77. Now, the thing is, they keep saying averages. So I'm looking for a specific. Can you find me a gas station? One gas station where it might be $1.85. That's all I'm asking. So
if it's at 2,
Isaiah Cho been calling.
Average. If it's 2 something and that's the average, what you think is that's just the regular? What you think the other prices is?
Hold on, yo. This shit scared the shit out of me. It said the question was where are gas prices below $2? And it said the nation's top 10 least expensive markets are Oklahoma 171, Ohio 178, Wisconsin 181, and Kentucky 182. But it said March 23, 2020. Holla back. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way no goddamn gas is 185 nowhere in the United States.
Well, right now it says AAA, according to their national snapshot, shows the average gas price right now is between $2.93 and $4.66, depending on the state. It's none below $2 anywhere on the map. The closest place is Mississippi, with the average gas price around $3.10. There's nowhere in the United States as of June 22nd at 2:41 p.m. Eastern Standard where the gas is under $2.
Kim, these motherfuckers are going to kick it They're gonna kick it like it was 185 before he dropped the bombs last night. Then it all went up. It went up last. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna literally kick that shit.
Telling the truth. It was 185 before he dropped the bombs last night in the 90s. So they're accurate in that. It was before he dropped the bomb the night before last, because it wasn't last night. The night before last, it was before he dropped the bomb under $2 in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah. Roxanne Kitchen, what's good? The right of photo. All right. Okay. You know what? We only got 32 likes. Really? I mean, is it that bad? Is it that bad? 32 likes. Please, y'all, hit the like button. I know a lot of times you come into the room, you come into the chat or whatever, and you just start listening and determining whether you want to keep listening or whatever. But please hit the like button. Can we get the likes up? Get the likes up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to email you. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? You won't hear from me again unless that's what you want. That's what you want. But please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel, whatever you want to do. All right, let's take a look at this poll. Let's take a look at the poll for a minute, y'all. Out of 104 votes, the question is, if you are disappointed in the Trump administration, what disappoints you the most? And the choices were tariffs and the global economy. And 19% were disappointed in that. 15% were disappointed in inflation, gas, and food prices. I'm surprised that it's not more than that. I really am. Okay, immigration, ICE raids, and due process or lack thereof, 21%. So 44% said the war on Iran and threat of world war is the thing that they're most disappointed in with the Trump administration. I don't know about y'all. I'm shocked at that because I'm not. It's the economy shit for me. Doesn't
the threat of world war affect the economy? That's the thing about it. World war, all of those things fall under that.
It's not even so. It's like this. The threat of world war. If it was a person that was in office that know how to deal with diplomacy and shit like that, that's different. But you're dealing with an unhinged president with a bunch of imbeciles around him. So yes, the threat of world war is prominent right now because of that shit. It's not like you got somebody in here that has a brain, a thought process. You understand what I'm saying? The economy is might be right above that, right underneath that. But right now,
according to this poll, the economy is not right under that. According to this poll, immigration and ICE raids are under that. And that's just according to this poll. You know what I mean? But this is a real-time poll. So of the people who have come by this show today, the ones who took time out to add their 2 cents, this is what's on their minds. So I'm thinking like, okay, so if this is the biggest thing on our plate right now, the whole war thing, that still surprises me that people are more disappointed in that, because I would think that the things that he promised before, and this is one of them, that he wouldn't do this, but the things that he promised that he could have actually fixed, like the economy, since you want to say all of this America first shit, but you've done everything less than put America first. So I think that's a little odd. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. If this is what people are most disappointed in, that's what they're more disappointed in. Brody 1007 says fix the economy. He didn't fix no economy. What the fuck are you talking about? You better go to the grocery store. Tell me what he fixed. Talking about go to your gas station.
$7 a gallon. When did Biden run the gas up over $7 a gallon?
He didn't. You know, he didn't.
There's no validity to that.
He didn't. And that's a funny thing, because if this dude was so great, why do you keep bringing up Biden? Basically y'all elected a magician. So why are you worried about somebody who can't even juggle? Y'all voted for a man who's supposed to be able to pull a rabbit out of a hat. For real, for real. You know, like sign of the times. Normally, when a president gives a press conference after a military action, normally he gives a shout out or thanks the allies that were involved in all of that shit. You have elected an I. Everything is I. He thanked the brave men and women who flew the planes, who did it, but that's it. Everything is I. So there's no France, there's no England, there's no nowhere. He has no friends. There's no Canada. There's no Mexico. There's nobody. It must be understood that that's where we're going with it. That's where we're headed. When you decide that you want to take on basically when you isolate your country, but you initiate conflict, you have essentially taken a handgun and put it up against an army. That's what you have said. Like, I guess your belief is that I can beat the army as long as I sneak up behind every last one of them. Bow, 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 bow. I'll flank them. They won't see me. 90 million people in Iran. Play stupid if you want. That's not a small amount of people. 90 million. There are only 300 million people in the United States. And the United States is a lot bigger than Iran. So play stupid if you want. But just like the board just wrote that he fixed the economy, that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with disinformation. You're dealing with misinformation. You are dealing with people who believe the hype.
So how many out of the 300 million people in America, how many people are willing to die for America, opposed to how many people in Iran are willing to die for Allah?
That part.
Well, hold on. You can't say that because that you can't say that. We can make ourselves believe that everybody is on some super jihad. You know what I mean? Allah Akbar. You don't think that they have people in Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and all of that ain't on that religious shit? They ain't all like that. For every
the point is, there's more of them who are for it versus those who are not.
We don't know that, Kim. We don't know that. We have no evidence to support that, and I'm not jacking that because they probably think that we all on some old Christian shit. We all on some old Jesus save shit. We all on some America the beautiful shit. That's what they think. Propaganda is propaganda. They got regular people. They got people in all Islamic countries who don't even believe in God. But of course, they're not going to highlight them.
I think they look at it as Americans as a joke. I do. I believe a lot of other cultures look at Americans as a joke.
And we look at them like they are super dangerous too. What difference does it make? We're both wrong. Neither one of us have enough information to support our claims. But as long as we are listening to leaders who have a particular agenda in mind to make you believe that certain people are dangerous that way. And I'm not saying that they're not dangerous, but they're dangerous like we're dangerous. Just like they are. We have a military that's as large, that has as many members as some countries. That doesn't mean that everybody at state side is supportive of the military. And even though we may not be supportive of the war, we're sure gonna hope that our brave brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and neighbors, that they come home safely, which means that they're going to have to put a bullet in somebody or drop a bomb on somebody. You know, so, and let me ask y'all this. You know, because I know that both of y'all have contempt for the military and all of that. But if it came down to you and it was do or die, would you do it? Would you fight?
Well, I'm gonna let you answer first, though.
Oh, you mean personally, like right now, today, if it came up to me, would I fight?
Yeah. Okay.
To defend this country?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Nope.
I can't defend a country that doesn't defend me.
Okay.
Now, if you said to defend my son, my dad, my mom, my siblings, yes.
Well, that's what
yes.
what I mean by when you had to. So when I say if you had to, I'm talking. What if they make it over here? And I mean whether they make it over here.
Those who are already here. When they activate those who are already here.
I'm talking about boots on the ground. I'm talking about soldiers in uniform. What if they make it over here? Or if they don't physically make it over here, what if they send military strikes on American soil? You ain't fighting?
I'm going to fight to protect my loved ones, yes.
So,
but if the choice was to fight to defend this country, no.
Well, that if you fight in that way, you're defending your country. That's collateral. That's collateral fighting, or collateral benefit. I will not hesitate to pick up an automatic weapon and fuck up anything. If you come over here, I can talk shit. I can talk all this shit that I want to over there, but every motherfucking person I love is here, and I will be goddamn if anybody sends shit over here that I wouldn't. I'm not riding for mine. I will preserve my life like a roach that runs when you turn on the lights in the bathroom. Fuck out of here.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
I believe you're already there.
Let me ask you a question. Because we were just saying about 90 million here and 300 million here in Philippines and the however many is in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
You yourself, right? Would you do the honor of wrapping a bomb on your body and detonating it and killing yourself in just for America?
Wait,
if you go over to Iran right now and you go into a well-populated area, would you detonate that bomb in front of thousands of people?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. But I'm not talking about the 300. Let me finish speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about the 300 people, all the millions that we can go over there and we can bomb, we can drop a bomb. I'm talking about the ones that's here right now that we don't know about themselves, that's willing to put a bomb in the back of a car or wrap themselves in the bomb. The ones that show sympathy to Iran right now, that's willing to do that while they're here.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if they were here, let's say if the United States, God forbid, was occupied by Iranian troops or somebody else, anybody, would you plant a roadside bomb or something like that to take them up out of here if they were here?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so what's the difference? Then what's the difference?
I'm living in America.
That's what I'm talking about, Troy. If you refuse to fight for
over to Iraq, I'm talking about you going over to Iran and wrapping yourself in a bomb. I'm not, this is just a hypothetical.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. But I gave you, if I wanted to join the military, I would have joined the military.
And vice versa.
Okay, so all right, that's already past tense. I'm 55. I'm 54. You 55. Fuck all of that. Now, and if you ask me this question when I was 25, am I willing to fight for
Son, I'm not asking are you willing because what I was saying about
I'm not. I would not. Okay, I would not kill myself for any fucking body.
And there's a lot of Iranians that believe in their faith
and
that would do that.
And there are a lot of Americans that would do the same, Troy. You don't think the United States got riders?
Son, I didn't say that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that you have individuals over here. We have an army here. We can destroy Iran.
An army has individuals.
You have an army here.
I don't think it's as many. I don't think it's as many people in the United States who are American who would be willing to strap a bomb on themselves and go all in versus some of them who are
the reason that y'all can say that. Wait a minute. The reason that y'all can say that from your perspective is because you have never seen soldiers in foreign uniforms on American soil. You have never seen it. You have never seen a foreign uniform in the United States ever.
Soldiers. I'm talking about regular people.
No. Listen. Like I said, and you have to really listen to what I'm saying. But if you had foreign soldiers on this land, you would see people that would be willing to give their life in order to get America back. The reason that you don't think so is because you've never seen soldiers. You've never been invaded. You've never been occupied. You've never had to listen to what another leader from another country has had to say or live under their rules. Those people have had to deal with American soldiers taking all of their weapons away. Why do you think they wrapping themselves in bombs and making their own shit? Because when you occupy territory, the first thing you do is you disarm everybody there. Everybody. And that's why the NRA and all of those yahoos who fight for the Second Amendment, that's why they always bitching about their guns, because they know that once you take away a country's ability to defend themselves, you got them. That's what that's all about. We have to understand the origins of people's unrest. Them motherfuckers are not riding just because they're American soldiers. Those American soldiers have offended them. Not personally, but some of them have personally. But militarily, they have taken away their ability to defend themselves, and they're rebelling against it. They're like, okay, well, since I can't shoot you, I'm going to bomb you. I'm going to make it very hard for you to be here because I don't want you here. Y'all say that y'all are here to give me freedom and to rescue me and all of that, but y'all have a different culture than we do. So we live like this over here, and y'all expect everybody to live like y'all do over there. Well, what y'all do over there doesn't work over here, but we was okay with what it was over here. But y'all tell y'all people over there that we was mad over here, and it's not true. And because if it was true, why are we riding? Y'all already got our leader up out of here.
I think I get what you're saying now. So you're saying basically, because I'm really just talking what I believe this is where we are. Wait. Your phone breaking up, Kim. You breaking up a little bit. Okay, it's not. What about now?
You good?
Okay. So you're saying when these cells are activated, because I believe that's tomorrow. When these cells are activated, it's going to be more Americans who stand, and it's probably going to be more of the prepper type people who have worked on putting away supplies, building bunkers, all of the things, who are armed and ready for war on this soil. That's what you mean by that versus us just seeing their common everyday people who, like Troy said, will strap on a bomb and go all in for Allah and become martyrs. Because we see that sometimes, we see it a little bit versus if these cells are when these cells are activated, And these American people who have been stockpiling for decades are now prepared because they're on U.S. soil. They are ready to go to war on U.S. soil. They are ready if these people live 2 doors down. They are ready to come outside on their street in their neighborhood and take them out. That's what you mean.
Exactly.
Am I correct?
Exactly. And there will be more people that will be galvanized or energized to do the same thing. And it might be you, because I know goddamn well it will be me.
Yeah.
Because
I
won't go over there. I won't go over there to fight you. But if you come here, I will fight the shit out of you. And I'm not dying for you. I'm living for you, because I'm worth a whole lot more alive. And so God, I have to forgive me when I get there, because I'm taking out as many as possible. But like I said, and everything and everybody I love is here.
It's like that. Yes, I would. Yes, I would, because I have everything to protect there. But I believe we are getting ready to enter that anyway. So yes, I 100% would.
Okay, so
because in that sense, we're not looking at it. I don't even think the preppers are looking at it in, I'm defending this country. They're looking at it like, I am defending my space. I am defending my family. I am defending my loved ones. I am defending my neighborhood. I'm defending my neighbors.
Right.
I don't think they're looking at it like I'm defending this country.
Exactly.
So that's the difference in there.
But I don't accept that the people there that are rebelling or doing suicide missions, I don't accept that they're doing that for their country. I don't accept that they're doing that.
They're doing it for their loved ones.
Exactly. They're not, but we'll say
or their beliefs.
What in their beliefs, I don't think that they're doing it just in the interest of God, because everybody is not religious the way that everybody is not religious in the Middle East the way that American propaganda has you thinking. They have Christians. They have Christians.
I'm not going by American propaganda. I'm going by people I know who talk about it. I'm not.
Well, see,
I'm not building them.
Well, I'm not saying that you're getting it straight off. I'm not saying that you're getting it straight off of the news, but what I'm saying is it's the American propaganda that got us in that thought mode in the first place. It all started from the Cold War. And I remember being, 8, 9, 10 years old, scared that, Russia was going to start a nuclear war with the United States. Where did I get that from? I didn't know anything about politics.
Hey. Before you go, since you mentioned them, let's not forget in the midst of all this, where's Japan, North Korea, and Russia on all of this that's going on right now? Russia's talking
about. Forget that. Hold on, Russia's talking about riding with Iran. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot about that. Putin is like, Putin.
Let's go.
Putin is good with Iran. So
let's go.
So that'll be one more thing. And China is rocking with Iran. So
and then all of the enemies will become allies.
Whose enemies are they? Because last I looked, Trump is, he is friendly with Russia, Putin, and
listen to what you said. He is friendly. He is friendly. That's like a girl who's in a relationship and she's in the relationship and the man is not.
Yeah,
he is friendly.
But the rest of the world looks at it like, well, if he is friendly, then they are friendly. Since he's the mouthpiece, because ain't nobody sticking a microphone in front of your in front of your face. So
No.
So we got a problem. Mark Meyer said Trump is being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize now. Yeah, but that's only Pakistan that suggested that he be nominated. He's not being nominated, sir. Please save your propaganda. I know it looks like I know it looks like I might not know exactly what's going on, or maybe I'm not spitting enough facts for you. But trust me, I know. No, Trump is not being nominated. He was suggested by Pakistan because Trump because when India granted a ceasefire to Pakistan that Pakistan asked for because they was getting their ass whooped by India, Trump steps in and says, yo, I was talking to India and Pakistan and I got them to do a ceasefire. I'm so proud of that. And the Indian prime minister, I'm sorry, what was the Indian, what's his fucking name? Anyway, the representative from India was like, yo, he ain't do shit. What the fuck you talking about? We ain't listening to him. He didn't help shit. And he was not responsible for the ceasefire. So Pakistan, happy that they wasn't getting their head beat in and they country blown to bits, was like, yo, we gonna play on his ego. Because anytime you say something nice about Donald Trump, then he starts giving out dimes like J.D. Rockefeller did at 30 Rock back in 1920. So he said, yeah, Trump should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for stopping India from beating our heads in. Yeah, but India said differently. They said, no, he ain't had nothing to do with it. Absolutely zero. So that's your nomination of Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. He ain't gonna get it. And if you think he's gonna get it, put your money up. I'll bet you any amount of money. Anybody giving that motherfucker Nobel Peace Prize? Somebody needs to give him. Somebody needs to give him.
Being the worst president.
Somebody needs to
give. Is that what he's gonna get a prize for?
Somebody needs to give him
the dumbest president.
Somebody needs to give him the bad end. Oh, you know what? No, I ain't gonna let you two fuck me up. Y'all finish it. Yeah, he needs to be on the bad end of an NRA device. Wink the fuck wink. All right. Yeah, ain't nobody nominating this motherfucker. Yeah. Oriel Septum says I should check my info. No, you should check yours. Fuck you talking about? I checked mine. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. All right.
By the middle of this week, it'd be another situation going on that the war, eventually the war is going to be somewhere still at the top. There's going to be something else for me. By the middle of the week, I say by Wednesday.
You give it that long?
Yeah, I got to give the benefit of the doubt because this war situation.
You don't give them hope.
I got to give it.
Thank you for the
doubt. I know this war situation is going to keep the news right there right now. So, but it's going to be something else that's going to come back. It's going to create more drama.
Well, of course.
And we'll be talking about that by the middle of the week. Of
course. Listen, I mean, this shit don't stop with this war. It don't stop. It just rolls more and more and more. It don't stop. Yo, I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I can guarantee you that this week will seem like it was last year. That's all I can, from my experience this time around in Trump, I can guarantee that next week will make this week seem like it was last year. Because this motherfucker is as chaotic as it gets. I've never seen no shit like this in my life. I've never had to do this many shows about anyone before. And I hate it. I hate it and I hate him. I'm like, I've had enough. I've had enough, but it can't stop because not enough people understand the gravity of the situation. They don't see the danger. They don't understand. And I understand that they don't understand. But it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. This shit is fucking crazy. But and for all my moderators, man, appreciate y'all. And I mean, let them talk. But once they get on that, once they start, let's just say once they start becoming verbally racially biased, yeah, lift them up where we belong. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Listen, I believe in I believe in me some First Amendment. I do. But I also understand that because I was a comedian for years, I understand heckling and I can stand up to that a lot better than a lot of people can. But these this shit is putting us all in the same fucking basket and we don't see it. And for me, that's frustrating. That's very frustrating. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, have you ever? It's like teaching a child something that's very elementary, and you know they get it, but then or should I say, you know they could get it. There's no learning disability here. There's no undetected, you know, problems. But for some reason, they just refuse. You know, I'm sure that y'all have all had the experience of talking to a friend and telling them, you know, giving them advice about something that they may have even asked you about or asked for advice on. And you tell them everything that's right. You tell them exactly what to do. You walk them through the steps. And then they go find somebody else that tells them to do the exact opposite. And that's what they do. That's sort of like what the frustration level of dealing with this bullshit is like. For me, anyway. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, that's what it's like. Like, when I tell you I'm tired of this shit, man, I mean, I'm tired. Like, I swear, every time we do a political show, I be like, you know what? I hope that's the last one we have to do in a while. That's not even what this channel is about. It's not what I built it on. It's not the direction I want to go. Motherfuckers who talk about politics, they talk about politics every day. That's their lane. This is not my lane. I gotta put people in this lane because my people need to know. They deserve. You deserve to know what's going on around you. You deserve to understand what's true and what's false. You deserve that. And if I can provide that on any level, then I will. But goddamn, I'm sick of it.
It's so much better to know than being blindsided. And we've been blind. He blindsides us every day on a regular basis. Every hour of the day is something, especially in the middle of the night, he blindsides us. And he's made it where the media can keep us locked in the dark about it. He controls them so much that he doesn't even get that information out there. So it is important for you, like others, to share the information and knowledge that you have, at least so people aren't just completely in the dark, because he's made it very difficult for the media to share what's actually happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's bothersome, but you're going to find assholes everywhere. But the most important thing is, you know, we can both agree to disagree, but as long as we understand that we're on the same mind frame of how we feel is more important just as well. And it's also, you know, the only thing, I don't care who you voted for. You could vote for me, that you're not holding them accountable. Accountability is the most important thing on this planet. And it takes me out.
Uh-oh. Are we fading out?
Everybody else accountable.
Yo, hold on, Troy. We missed about 3 or 4 seconds of what you were saying. Somehow you cut out.
So I'm sorry. So what I was saying was that, you know, I don't care who you vote for. You know, fuck him. I care about the fact that nobody's holding them accountable. And, you know, but the ones that's not holding them accountable, like the ones that the Democrats not holding them accountable because they're scared of what the investigations can bring up on them. The Republicans not holding them accountable, same thing. The Magas not holding them accountable because they love them. But yet we base our life over accountability. You hold your job accountable for money they don't give you when you get a raise. You hold your children accountable for shit they don't do. Women hold their husband and wife accountable for shit they do wrong and for shit they don't do. But you cannot hold this man accountable for shit. Hold him accountable. You can still vote for him. You can still love him. But hold him accountable. Hold him accountable. Because even if this was Barack, if this was Bill Clinton, if this any president, if it's any president that does stupid shit, he's held accountable. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, it's not about Democrat, Republican, and all that shit right now. This is about morals and what's humanly right for society. And we already know that Trump doesn't live on the morals. He don't give a fuck. He don't. He never has. Never will. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you sit back and you think about that, that's the only thing that's bothersome to me. I don't get angry. I get pissed the fuck off at that part. That nobody's holding him accountable. Nobody. Like, you can't be politically correct. You can't go to a fucking middle of a meeting. You can't be in front of Congress and talk in peace. No, you got to talk with a little bit incorrectness. I'm tired of this shit. Fuck this.
But wait a minute. What makes
somebody got to speak the same? I'm tired of this because they speaking it.
What makes you think that nobody's holding him accountable?
Because he's doing what he's doing.
That doesn't mean he's not being held accountable. It just means
if more people speak up, if more Republicans come on, more Republicans speak up outrightly, then there will be a change in the divide. They're not speaking up at all.
No, that's not true. No, they've been speaking up. They actually have.
Son, they haven't been speaking up. You said it yourself. They're not speaking up enough.
Okay.
You said that with the Democratic Party. They're not speaking up enough.
And they weren't.
You said that.
They weren't.
But still not.
But wait a minute. As of yesterday, they're bringing through articles of impeachment. The boy Al Green is leading the charge. He was the one who.
He's a Democrat.
Okay, but you just said that I was saying that Democrats weren't doing enough, and they weren't. They weren't. But
that's one out of 100.
No, he's not the only.
You need more. You need more and more people. To speak up.
He's not the only one because he can't alone bring through articles of impeachment. He can get the ball rolling. So that's in the works, and there have been Republicans that they're more on a they haven't come out and straight called Donald Trump wrong, but even Marjorie Taylor Greene, she ain't on the Trump train as heavy as she was. This war is separating motherfuckers. Like last week, I was asking y'all, and this wasn't even a full week. I guess it was. Okay, last Saturday when a lot of people did not show up for his military parade, his dictator parade, whatever you want to call it, I was asking, do y'all think that that's indicative of a shift in the divide of or a shift or a pivot in support of Trump? And I still think that it is. And then you start this war, and I think that probably I think that the ball was already started rolling on people rolling back or discontinuing support for Trump. And I think this war is going to make more people do it. Now, of course, the ones that are going to be the most vocal are going to be the ones who are still in support of, because those are the ones that are going to be able to be on TV. They're the ones who are going to make the cut. But I see, I follow more of this political shit than I'm proud of right now. It's consuming a lot of my attention, but at least I see some changes on the here and there, by various news, independent political news channels that I check out. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe everything that they say, because I if I don't know nothing, I know about how the microphone and the camera and editing works. I understand. So I understand when they cutting out certain things or when they introduce a topic and, you know, so they can show you this little clip that they've already told you everything about that you're not going to see. So it can already put your mind in that space. So I'm not with all of that. So I'm not going to give y'all that. But there are people speaking out. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, you know, it's just like, for lack of a better example, it's just like when we talk about something like Black unity. It's hard for us to see it unless we see a stadium full of people doing it. We won't see that. But it doesn't mean that in the underground that a movement isn't building and becoming effective. It doesn't mean that. Everything starts at 1. Everything starts at 1. Nothing starts at 100. Everything starts at 1. So from the 1 you get to 2 and then you get to infinity or however far you're gonna get. But I don't want
to. So let me just, I'm not going to interrupt you. And if I did, if you want to continue talking, you can go right ahead.
Nah, you ain't going to get the chance to say nothing. Because what I'm going to do, right? Nah, I'm saying, go ahead, Troy.
What I was going to say is that, let's take away, so I'm trying to find out when is enough. And when do they start speaking up a little bit more louder and a little bit more angry? Maybe shit, I don't give a fuck, you throw profanity out there. When does it, let's see. Let's take away the bomb dropping. We had all the shit that just went on with the immigration. Before that, it was the signal situation when the dickhead defense secretary did that. Then we got all the prices and everything all out of whack. Gas all out of whack. Everything that went on before this happened, right? Oh, we're not even going to talk about the senator, a sitting senator getting locked up because he wanted to ask Christy Nome a question. It should have been at what point do you start talking louder, or do you get angry, or do you get pissed off? Now the war comes and they're slowly dripping in. When do the anger? Rome wasn't starting in the day, but Rome should have been started a while back.
Hold on, Troy. Hold on. I got to tell you this. Did you see that Fox News, the panel on Fox News said that the senators and all of the other lead politicians, the Democratic lead politicians who have gotten accosted and detained by ICE, they're doing it because they can't afford political ads, so they're getting locked up on purpose to get attention.
Right,
Joe. Did you see it?
See, that's the bullshit.
Hold on, but did you see it? Did you see the clip of the panel of Fox News analysts saying that shit? I didn't hear that. Okay, it was 4 of them. I'm only telling you this so you understand what we're working with. When I tell you that they will flip anything, like, so you mean to tell me that these motherfuckers are getting locked up on purpose for what? Like, it's not an election year. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I don't think you heard me at first. I didn't have it unmuted, but I saw it. And I keep seeing them crash out with the most insane comments that humans could ever say. And it's like, you guys are riding hard for this person here. Like, what an embarrassment to their family.
I said, look, so that it's important that y'all understand what's going on. There is nothing that you are going to do in antithesis mode that is going to make them say, yeah, you know what, you're right. He fucked up. So we gotta. No. Let me finish this. So we have to stop expecting certain things from certain people who we can't expect certain things from. We got to stop working on them. It's not about who is out front or up front or the loudest talking. It's not about that. Because if you think about it, the effective things are done on the low. Trump didn't say he was sending those missiles dropping them bombs over there. He just did it on the low. When that
Everything he's been
the
doing
big,
that's been a major
hold on. When the big
done in the middle of the night on the low.
Right, the big beautiful bill. They didn't tout that. They didn't raise it and be like, yo, we about to do this. They did it in the middle of the night. So we gotta pay attention to that. It's not about, the one with the microphone turned up loud. It's not about them.
That's not what you said to me back then. When we was on there talking, you said to me, they need to start talking. Somebody needs to say something.
Because they weren't talking.
Was telling, and I'm agreeing with you even more now.
Where are we now, Troy? From when we was talking about that before? That was over a month ago. It was over 2 months ago. So
and they still ain't talking the way. There's not a lot talking.
But they're
not coming to the forefront.
A lot has happened since.
I don't care about the background.
Troy,
and that's what you said.
Fuck
the back. You said fuck all that. I don't care about the background. I need to hear what's going to fuck on now.
Exactly, because that was we talking about around February or March, where where a lot less had been going on than it is now. They weren't,
and we don't know what's going on now, other than what you're saying. Al Brown did this, and we need to.
Al Green.
When fucking Chuck Schumer get up there and talk in Congress, he has to be a little bit more.
Fuck Chuck. Fuck Chuck Schumer. No.
The way they talk, when you talk on this damn channel, that's how they gotta talk.
What I'm saying, no, because
talk right.
No, because that's not gonna. Nobody's gonna hear you, Troy. You gotta aim for the bullseye. You're never gonna win hitting the 10, the 20, the 19, the 6. You're not gonna win. You know what I mean? When something happens, you have to assess the situation. You can't have it the way you want it. You have to have it the way it is. So when if you want to strategize against something, you have to learn its capabilities. You have to learn the way that it moves. You have to learn what it will do or how it will react when you do one thing versus another thing. That's what you have to do. You can't just come in here with all this passion like this is the way it's supposed to be. You up here talking about morals. That's not going to get it. Nobody gives a fuck. Morals are for peacetime.
I think some of it is who's going to do the talking too.
No, but all I'm
this shit is who is going to do the talking.
I don't know how many times I've sat in front of this camera on this microphone and wait. I don't know how many times I have gotten in front of this camera on this microphone and told y'all that politics is about money. I've said it time and time and time again. And it's true. Time and time and time again. It's true. It's true at 1. It's true at 89. It's true at 800,000 or whatever. It's true. Nobody. When you start talking about you start talking about the LGBTQ, you start talking about separating families and all of that shit. None of that shit pay the bills. When you start removing the money away from motherfuckers or stopping them from being able to make money moves, then they start listening. Sure, our listeners will listen to, well, that ain't right. Politics is not about right or wrong. It's about dollars and cents. So when we learn how to appeal to their sense of dollars and cents, then we will get somewhere. Other than that, it doesn't matter how we think it's supposed to be. It does not matter because they're never going to make a move based on that. You get the evangelicals to vote for you because of abortion and all that shit, but it has to be understood that all of that Roe v. Wade and all that kind of shit, that shit is about money too. It's about money and control and power. We got to understand that. So yeah, it wasn't. Donald Trump can now be impeached because he did not alert Congress. He did not consult Congress before he made a military move. They are getting the process started concerning that. And that's legit. But just saying that he didn't do it because it wasn't right, nobody gives a fuck. With the right or wrong, it has to be on the books. It has to be on the books. So let's get it on the books. Now let's take a look at the people who are calling him on the carpet according to the books. Because he don't give a fuck about how anybody feels. So the legal system is the only way that we're going to be able to make any moves. Other than the ballot box, and you know what I mean? Barring some divine intervention, in the next 3 years, this is what we working with.
I don't even think the ballot box is going to be as effective because it hasn't been thus far. That's why it's here now.
Well, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I'm with that, but we do have the ballot box now, and although we may have that taken away from us by the time it's time to get to him, but just like I was saying earlier in the show, with him declaring this war, this shit ain't gonna be over no time soon. So you know what I mean. So that might be stronger than the ballot box, along with the manipulation of the ballot box that he would have. Now, let me ask y'all this: speaking of the ballot box, with Elon not being on board directly anymore, how you think that ballot box is going to go?
Well, really, I don't know how on board he's not on board, because he apologized to him, and so I mean, at the end of the day, we really don't know behind the scenes how that's going.
Well, we talk about next year, and we talking about in 3 years. So
well, if Elon's not on, he's not. It depends on who's running.
Well, okay.
Because he can't run for another term.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's putting things in place to whereas it won't matter whether he can run for another term or not. It may not be a question of whether he's running or not. This thing may just be. We gotta understand how this thing works. It's not about whether he can run for another term. It's about whether he will be in there for another term.
I believe he's aligning people he wants to have in place, enough people to put in place who can keep his style of chaos going. Yes. And even if he didn't, at the end of the day, it is going to be a nightmare for whoever comes in office behind him. Because I just believe it's going to take 2 terms to clean up this mess. Just even the financial crisis he has put this country in is astronomical on top of everything else. So it is going to be hell for anyone who comes in behind him. But do I think he's aligning himself to be the forever president? Yes. Do I think he's put some in place where he's the forever president without being physically the president? Yes. Because he thinks he's going to be able to navigate people. Now, I don't know what he's done or said or spent or anything for some of these people we deem to be, I don't know, everyday people. I use the quote, who are in his cabinet, who are politicians, who still kiss his ass. And we have to consider the fact they're all politicians. It's not just Republicans who have voted him in. It's not just Republicans who agree with him. It's other parties who agree with him as well. for whatever reason, it's always questionable. Look at Eric Adams. We know that's his buddy. Well, that's not his buddy. That's his actor. The thing about it is, we have the ballot box per se, but is it going to hold any weight now that we see in real time that a lot of these things that we thought were important when we go to the ballot box, we are realizing they have not been as important as we thought. They hold no weight. We have been lied to for a very long time because, again, this man has done all the things where people say, he can't do that. And as people are saying he can't, he's already done it. It is a lot of questions surrounding everything we've always been taught to know. And because it has been such a fail, because a lot of American people who voted him in are very angry. A lot of people who voted him in, again, have buyer's remorse. But they still do not want to lean toward the Democratic Party. Now, do I think that will build up maybe the Independent Party? Probably. Or maybe there'll be a new one. Who knows? Because this man is opening doors for a lot of things to happen that are uniquely new to the American people. So who knows what it's going to look like the next time around. But one thing that's a fact, it is a mess, and it is going to be a mess and chaos for anyone who comes next to clean up. And that includes anyone he puts in place. Because, see, they don't know what this jackass is doing when he's up tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning. So they still are going to have a lot to clean up. He has done a lot of damage right now. And we're not even a year in. So this saying, it's a lot to think about, the ballot. It's a lot to think about. The main thing now is to get him out of office before he causes irreparable damage, which, I don't know, some of it is questionable. It's a lot of stuff that people are going to have to walk back and fix, if it can be fixed. And I don't think some of it can. So, I don't know. That's a tough one. Just looking at it is a tough one. And unfortunately, the Democratic Party is not doing crap to align themselves in a good space. And there's that. Because at the end of the day, the Republican Party stands tight. I'm not talking about Maga. I'm just talking about the average Republican Party.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. We out of here, y'all. We had 2 hours. We going.
Wait, yelling, screaming, fuck all that, and this, all that. And then it just...
Hey, look. Hey, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing no 2.5 hours on this bitch.
It gets real quiet and mummified.
We about to do these birthday shots. All right, hold on. Let's go over the poll again. All right, so 18% tariffs, 17% inflation, 21% immigration, and 44%. Damn, it's still, those numbers have not changed for real, with 155 votes. That's amazing. Please, y'all, hit the like button. We about to do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here. Listen, in advance, I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel.
Man, fuck all that. I appreciate you too, son. And you too, Kel. Fuck all that.
So please subscribe to the channel. All my new subscribers, thank you for checking in. This is not, political conversation is not what we do every day. You know what I mean? I just want you to know this is not what we do every day. We normally talk about life shit, real shit, direct things that we can relate to. Even though not saying that we can't relate to this, but you know, we normally have a little bit more informative fun than this. But it is what it is. Troy.
Well, I want to say,
be safe, man.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, before we go, because I usually just say stay safe, everybody, but this one here, I mean it in a different way. I don't mean just stay safe or stay safe. I mean stay safe, stay protected. And here, let's just take it a little direction. With this heat wave coming in, I know most of y'all in those places, please be careful, be mindful, stay hydrated, all those things, get your electrolytes in. But I also mean stay safe because we don't know what the next 10 minutes are going to be with this guy. And it is going to be important to get the things you need. Start considering supplies in your home because we are under a threat now. And they have already started with the cyber attacks. We don't know if the grid is going to go down. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So because of that, everybody align yourself with the things that you're going to need. Consider 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 2 months out, whatever you need to do for you and your family. But stay safe, family, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Y'all be safe. And don't let this shit consume all your emotional energy, man. Fuck this shit. We at the end of the day, we still gotta eat. We still gotta drive. We still have to love. We still have to be friends. We got shit that we have to do. We still have to be family. We still have to do whatever it is that we did yesterday. We still have to do today. So we're gonna have to take this as it comes. But this problem is bigger than all of us together, but individually, we still gotta go ahead and live our lives. So I encourage y'all to do that. Yo, I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be good.
Peace.
All right, peace. One love. Yeah. Now, Spiral DJ. The thing is, Iran has been in compliance for years, allowing inspectors to come in and snoop around and like I said, Tulsi Gabbard said no, they don't have a nuclear weapon. Everybody has said that they don't have the capability to have a nuclear weapon, but somehow Donald Trump declares that they do. So when I asked you what was his reasoning for sending military strikes to Iran, why now? Why now? Like why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it last week? Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it a few weeks ago? Remember when the military strikes from Israel hit Iran, he didn't even know about it. Remember, he was at the G7. He didn't know. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. So if he knew then that they had a nuclear weapon, all right, well, show and prove. You said that you destroyed their nuclear sites. You destroy nuclear sites because they have nuclear power. A lot of countries have nuclear power. Doesn't mean that they have a nuclear weapon. We've known about Iran's nuclear capabilities for 3 decades now. And that's a lot different from having a nuclear weapon. So, you can't just say, you can't just go against your Secretary of Defense, go against everybody who is an expert. But we know that Donald Trump doesn't like experts. He doesn't like that because experts tell him what the right things to do are instead of him being able to tell them what to do. So that's why you appoint a Pete Hegseth with absolutely no experience, because you can tell him what to do instead of somebody who's qualified who would say, Mr. President, that's not the thing to do. So, I mean, we're not going to act stupid. We're not going to play dumb like this man is interested in being directed in any kind of way. He's a loose cannon. Can you imagine, not even trying to be funny, but can you imagine this man being on your basketball team, football team, or any other team? Like, who's going to coach him? Who's going to coach him? Like, no, that's not the way you shoot a jump shot. Well, no, this is the way I like to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it this way. How about you're not going to be on the team? Because you're not going to make any shots. You don't play any defense. and you don't like the practice. Even AI played defense, and he knew how to shoot. His percentage wasn't great. He scored a lot of points. I'd love to discuss this, as there are multiple federal and CIA sources that I can just link drop to the chat. And honestly, you want to talk about not being naive? They've been screaming death to America, and as they should. I'm not saying that they love America. Who the fuck would love America outside of America? Are you crazy? You know what? I don't know where you live, Spiral DJ, but let foreign soldiers come to your neighborhood, or your city, or your state, and occupy your land and tell you that they're freeing you from your president. I want to see how well that you would say to their country, like, thank you, America. I mean, thank you, Iran. Thank you, Iraq. Thank you, Afghanistan. Thank you, Lebanon. I want to see if you would do that. So we're so used to looking at everything from strictly an American perspective. Like, you really believe that we're going all over the world saving lives and being the good guy, but you're not over there. You're not over there. I'm growing up, being born and growing up in that culture. So you've never seen any soldiers or uniforms in this country besides American soldiers in uniform. You've never seen it. So maybe one day, if you see it, you'll feel a lot different. But please don't tell me what I know, because I know a lot. That's why I ask certain questions. I'm not uninformed, not even a little bit. Oh my God, okay. America the Beautiful. Let's go. That's what's up. All right. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 22nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Kim Thomas, my girl Kim Thomas, happy birthday to you. And also Ricky Brown, Rashida Francis, Lynn Walsh, and she's raising money for Special Olympics New Jersey Incorporated. Antoinette Smith, and I've known Antoinette Smith since I was like 4. And okay, wait, hold up. La Filet Melancholy, that's an interesting name. And Kimberly Mitchell, Kathleen Beard, what's that? Mined Croy, Travis J. Winters, and my girl from Penn State, Sarah Hall. I'd like to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 22nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, listen, this war thing is one thing. This economy thing is another thing. This life thing is a whole different thing. We all got to live this thing. whether you agree or not, whether you like it or not, we are under the leadership of ineffective leadership, of unpredictable leadership, of inexperienced leadership, and of irresponsible leadership. I dare to say, what's the word? When you don't know how to do your job, when you don't know what you're doing, but you are expected to do something. What's that word? Incompetent. We are under the leadership of an incompetent president who calls his predecessors incompetent. This is a fucking mess. And regardless of whether you support him or not, you think that somehow your support of him is going to make what he's doing okay. You don't know what he's doing. You have to play cleanup, and I would think that you would get tired of cleaning up for somebody whose mess that you did not authorize to make. You know, when you throw a party and you have lots of guests and there's food and there's people and there's music and there's drinks, you can expect that you're going to have to need a cleanup crew after everyone goes home, because people had a good time. They've eaten, they've drank, they've danced, they've had fun, they've had conversations. And now it's time for you to play cleanup. Well, you didn't go to a party. You didn't throw a party, and you didn't invite anyone to this party. Yet you are part of a cleanup crew and you ain't even getting paid. That's literally what we're working with right now. And you've been cleaning up after him time after time after time. He promised you that he was going to lower inflation and that food, gas, and all kinds of other prices would come down, and he hasn't done it. He told you that he was going to end wars, not start them, but he has not ended any, and he has started one. That is what it is. Get your brooms, get your mops, get your wipes, get your disinfectant, get your water, get your bleach, your alcohol, get all of that shit, because you're going to need it time and time again. You've been cleaning up with them since January 20th, 2025, and you're cleaning up for them on June 22nd, 2025. This has been the fucking most hellish 6 months of my life. And you're just getting started. You ain't had a day off. You ain't had a day off since January 20th. Thanks for coming through, supporting the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Yo, for all my lovers, keep loving. For all my haters, keep hating. Doesn't really matter. One thing I'm well aware is that I don't move the needle with this shit even a little bit. Not a millimeter, not a centimeter, not a meter, nothing. I realize that I don't move the needle. But what I do is I give you the information as I know it, as I see it, and as I learn it. It is what it is. You stay tuned, stay woke. You know, because the other side told you that being woke is a bad thing. Well, you sleep if you want to, because you know what's going to happen if you sleep. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. I hope you enjoyed listening to the show as much as I enjoyed broadcasting it. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, for another Daily Go Get 'Emism show. So I'm gonna, and thank you, I'm a Spiral DJ, because, you know, we don't have to agree. That's fine. I'm used to not being agreed with. It doesn't mean that we have to hate each other. It's an exchange of ideas and information. It's not about being right or wrong. That's why there are no hard feelings. So yeah, talk your shit. It's all good. Wayward says, we love Trump, baby. Oh, sorry. We got to get up out of here, y'all. Peace.